but it is YouTube. Yeah, forgotten about that. We're live.
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, good evening. Let me put my teeth in. Hang on. Good evening, everybody. My name's Kate Bootman. We have Will Murphy and Carl Horton back this evening. Again, we're just going to do a little catch up. We did the same last week just to see how the first week was going back. So, Will, I would like to pass straight over to you if that's okay. How did your second week go?
Second week was good, yeah. So I progressed from, generally patching a few things up and doing some consults and little bits and pieces to actually doing some implant surgery. So that was great. Yeah,
good
I think
man,
the general feeling, I think for me anyway, was in terms of implant surgery or any sort of dentoalveolar surgery is that you're pretty much gowning up like you always do, but you're just using a funkier mask really, So I think that was, the only difference. Plus, of course, not having done implants for about, 2.5, 3 months or whatever it is, lost track. I like to think the magic was still there and, everything seemed to go pretty well. The patients actually seemed very, very grateful that we could be getting on with treatment.
Right.
And I think that's generally the feeling all round is that, a lot of our patients have either been hanging on, left in the dark, not been able to get a proper answer. So, it's nice to be able to do that. The other thing I've done as well today, actually, is we've got everybody having done their mask fitting tests. So all the staff at Newell Street are all good to go. So we've got ourselves, I like to think, in a nice position and ready to go.
Oh, fantastic! That's brilliant, Will. And the staff, they're feeling good still. I know you said you'd gone through role play, so they were okay last week, but getting back into implant surgery.
Just talking about work.
I was waiting for that. You set them up, he'll deliver them.
Yes.
Basically we did a run through. I'll call it a run through. I think that might be a better phrase.
Yeah, I think so.
Where what we also did is we did a run through and we also sort of took some pictures as we went through, so we can have our own little montage of what patients can expect really. And actually that was really good because every now and again you stop and you think, how should we make this work within our own practice? Because obviously the layout of everybody's practice is different. So it's, how do we keep people here? So there are a few little things also from having patients, the odd patient come in and out for the non-AGP stuff, is to give them very clear direction. And, it's a bit like the supermarket, circles or crosses on the floor, stand here until we give you your next instruction. So, I think everybody felt pretty good, pretty happy.
Great.
The run through worked really well. So, all good today.
Oh, fantastic, Will. That's great. Really good. Carl, how's your week been?
Yeah, very intense. It's not for me so much, but we've been examining the students. They've had their final exams, so it was Vivas all day. I've got to remember the days now.
Tuesday,
all day.
Wednesday.
Thank you. Yeah, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday. So they had to present their cases, their unseen cases and their seen cases. I wasn't part of the exams that they took, the written exams, but they managed to do an amazing job of figuring out how they were going to do that with 2 cameras, one to watch the guys, making sure they behave themselves, where they logged online, and I think they answered the questions online. But it was I don't want to say I was tired because those poor souls had to be. But,
you just had to ask the questions.
Yeah. And I can't say too much because obviously they haven't had the results yet.
Oh.
But
Secrets.
So that was a lot of my week, and then obviously doing a bit more research, finding out what's going on, and with all the little bits behind what other countries are up to and compared to us, and little things like that. And I don't know why my laptop has suddenly started doing that, but that's going to be a bit weird for people that are watching.
Have you been hacked?
Well, it's doing something very strange, yeah. So you can read all my emails at the moment.
See, I mentioned role playing, it's all gone to pot.
I think it's one of your students trying to work out whether they can't.
Yeah, just logged in, had a look at I think they're all
or changing their results.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So so today, obviously, we've been told that the level's been dropped from 4 to 3. So there's no different to PPE, is my understanding. Not at level 3, still the same.
Still the same. Don't think it means very, very much, really. Maybe you could, I don't know. It doesn't make any difference to the suggested guidelines that we follow. I mean, Will, how long is your fallow period? Calculations and figured it out, and
we obviously this sort of occupies all our time, doesn't it? Philosophical debate on what it is and when it starts. What is So at the moment, I guess like every other dental practice, we're trying to figure out what is the earliest point we can start our fallow period. So so far, like everyone else, I think we're saying as soon as we put the handpiece down, start the clock, and crack on with that. I don't know whether it's going to change with the different levels on the government's Nando's chart, whether we're sort of sub piri, getting down to sort of cool
lemon
spice, lemon and lime, moving into that department, So fingers crossed, we're getting into the sort of chicken korma realm soon.
Yeah, it does change. I know you guys probably not that interested, and I wouldn't blame you. But if you look at table 4 on the Public Health England, that's when it's still in transmission, I suppose, when it's still sort of in the system. And I think when you get down to level 2, you could argue that is no longer applicable, and we go back to how it was before. But it depends, because they could change their view on it. So I think level 2's potentially, I'll have to look it back up again, but from what I read originally, table 4 was when it's still active, which is where we are at the moment, level 3. And then when it gets down to Nando's, slightly spicy, but not enough to make you sweat, that's when we can start to potentially relax the respirators. But I would think we're always going to be in the point where we're wearing masks and visors with AGP.
But do you think, in the absence of any guidance, we've sort of given up waiting for guidance, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, 100%. I think
common sense.
Well, I think so. I mean, I think one of the nice things in amongst all the horrible stuff is that I think there's been a really nice mobilization of the profession. Certainly with the new association that's developed itself, seems to, I think, has been a very positive move for perhaps making a louder noise, on behalf of the profession. Don't know how you feel about it.
I feel exactly the same as you. They could even speak a little bit louder if they wanted to, as far as I'm concerned.
Really shout. Did you see the little table that came around the sort of international fallow time?
I'm
not expecting you to read it, but
I did, because I sent him, bless him, I sent Dominic one little message, which I don't know whether he used it or not, but it was one, because Dominic's great, and I don't know how he's got the time, because I found a website. It's the Danish one. Is it Danish or Norwegian? And on there, they linked it to what the rest of the world are doing. It's in their own language. And it's really good at picking out what the rest of the world are doing. But I also spoke to Seaway, who I'm doing some research with. So he works at Imperial, and he just happened to grab the Japanese SOPs, which I haven't sent over to Dominic yet, to discuss what they're doing. But I think that's a fantastic thing. He's collated that data. So I was looking at what the masks, what they were doing mask wise and ventilator wise, and he's done that as well as looked at the fallow periods. And I think that's a fantastic piece of information that they've managed to collate there, because it really does show how we are right up here with our fallow period, not evidence-based, by the way, just get that out there again, and how the rest of the countries are behaving with regards to the lack of evidence and using common sense. But should I say that live on the air?
Yeah, say it.
Well, you have.
GDC 71768.
Yeah,
That's your vote.
yeah, that's my one. I mean,
But
again, what about Wales? What about dentistry in Wales?
Yeah, what dentistry in Wales?
Yeah.
I mean, is that right? Are they saying nothing till January?
Yeah, we're allowed to do video calls in January, because video calls are quite dangerous. So we're not allowed to see, or we're not even allowed to say the word patients. it's obviously as you cross the border, the virus gets worse.
It's pretty nasty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Like we've got a real softy virus over in England. That can't get, that sort of doesn't want to know.
As it gets over the mountains and the valleys, it mutates into this vicious form that affects Welsh dental patients.
Yeah,
far worse than it affects English and Scottish and Northern Irish patients.
Yes,
and anybody else.
So aren't they lucky to have such caring leadership over there?
Yeah.
I hear a
keeping everybody safe.
I think. Well, hopefully, I did. Do you know what? I haven't read it because I've got other things to do. But something did come through today, and maybe a few days ago as well, that I just haven't got around to reading, which might indicate that they're going to start to relax things a little bit sooner than they originally said they were going to. So we might see some common sense coming back. Yeah. It's interesting.
It's insane because obviously you work in Wales as well as England. You did, across the border. So you're likely to be in a position where you can do all your normal services in England, but not do anything in Wales.
Yeah.
Which means that we've got a clinic in Ludlow.
And how far away is the Welsh clinic from that?
Yeah. Well, if you were driving it slowly, an hour. But in distance terms, Kate probably knows better than me distance wise.
In distance, about 20-25 miles.
Yeah,
25 miles, and that's the key area where the virus mutates, isn't it?
It's the hub.
Yeah,
the hub. Yeah.
The hub
they closed the hub. They had a hub in Newtown. They've closed the hub now. So there's no hub anymore.
No, well,
very political.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah, well, why not? Why not?
It is a very bizarre situation, because you would think that you'd just have complete joined up thinking, and you wouldn't think that you'd get these bodies that all represent the same people behaving in such different ways. You'd think they'd actually phone up, and go, do you know what? Be like the Justice League. By the way, Batman, Superman, the woman, we kind of need you to fight this guy right now and behave in the same kind of fashion, not like just we'll do this. Like the Scottish were quite good at sorting things out quite rapidly, weren't they? And then it was no offense, sorry if you're watching, but it was a little bit like, right, okay, let's do that. That looks good. Good.
We'll do that as well.
Can we do that? Can I do that? Yeah,
do
that.
Yeah, we'll do it.
So, Will, have you got any more placements, any surgery booked for the coming week?
Yeah.
He's had phone calls from loads of Welsh patients.
Yeah.
There are any Welsh I was born in Cardiff, obviously. I wanted everybody to know that.
There's your connection.
My son's in the Welsh under-18 rugby squad. Just letting you know that, everybody.
Super.
So yeah, we do very nice implants over in England. So you know. Sorry, where was I? I was just some shameless self-publicity rant. Yes, so I'll be going back down to Harpenden in Hertfordshire and placing implants next week. In terms of Birmingham, we are again just sorting out a few emergency patients, and I think we've got a little bit of implant activity kicking off in July.
Fabulous. Great.
So the other thing, of course, is that we're looking at our diaries now, saying where do we put the AGPs and where do we put the non-AGPs? So, I mean, essentially, having 2 surgeries is probably key. So I think what we've decided to come up with is start the day off in our AGP surgery, try and, you know, do some dentistry that fixes things, gets people out of pain and pays money. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
Then move into non-AGP whilst the fallow period is going on. Do some non-AGP stuff, checkups or whatever, and then back in probably say before lunch or something like that. Do some more AGP stuff, and then you've got your sort of fallow period over the lunchtime, and then maybe do the same sort of thing in the afternoon. So I think so far, unless anybody's got any other great ideas on it, that seems to be our plan for, you know, getting things moving again.
Seems sensible to me. Sounds good.
Mine's a little bit different because obviously next week on Tuesdays and Thursdays there's going to be a little bit of time at 9 o'clock where I can sort of
Can't resist, can he?
put this on, and then you can come and do some keep fit. So I'll be kids. I'll be there at 9 till 9:30.
Right, you've got to show us the bunny hops. Come on, you can't put that on and not do the bunny hops.
I want to see the kangaroo ones.
The bunny hops are that one, aren't they? Yeah,
Is he still doing it?
Reduced now. He's reducing it to Monday, Wednesday, and a Saturday.
Yeah, which is why I'm doing the Tuesdays and the Thursdays.
You're taking over. We all started doing a bit of that in the mornings, and then went back to sort of sitting on the sofa with a Cocoa Pops, you know.
Well, I had the exams on Wednesday, and they started. We started at 8 in the morning, and I did say I've got to do my Joe Wicks. I thought it wouldn't really be appropriate, would it? Really, as you're climbing the road. So tell me, you know, what stage do you take CBCT for your patient?
Keep your Joey in the pouch. Keep your Joey in the pouch.
Yeah. Not that was a question, by the way, just in case anybody's thinking about doing.
We should throw that in.
Yeah.
Well, we're back in surgery this week, aren't we?
Yeah.
And
next week.
Following week.
Right.
Yes, next week. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. It's a good sign. It's really, really good to hear that it's gone well for you, Will, and it's.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
You know, the way you speak about it's level-headed as well. So the support staff and everybody else, it just gives a lot of confidence to those out there, because, you know, we're still getting loads of questions about the same sort of things. So it is good to hear that it's working well.
Same sort of things that come up again and again. You know, and we're taking it seriously, but you know, obviously, I like to have a laugh about everything.
Can you say exterminate for me?
Exterminate.
Brilliant.
Exterminate.
You're saying to me like a little bit of a Dalek as you're coming through on the.
I'm waking up.
Yes, it's all right. I can understand you. It just sounds like you're going to exterminate me.
Is that my connection? Is it?
It might be. I don't know. What does it sound like to you, Kate?
Sounds the same. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right. Sorry, mate. You were saying anyway before I rudely.
Yeah. If you can hear me, I was just saying how I think we are still taking it seriously. You know, despite the joke of leadership studies and all the stuff. You know, trying to have a bit of humour about our everyday lives. Because it's been it's been a massive deal, isn't it, for everybody. But at the same time, you've got to try, keep your chin up and have a bit of a sense of humour about everything.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, there is one of the nurses. Well, I'm assuming actually she might have been one of the dentists. I didn't know. She emailed me after I had the last webinar and thanked us and said that they've been working in one of the emergency centres down there, and one of the things that keeps them going is a sense of humour. So yeah, we're serious when we've got to be serious, and then it's have fun when you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes we need it. I think it keeps us going, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally agree.
And I'm a miserable so-and-so at home. This is my only time that I can actually have a bit of a laugh. As soon as I click off this,
You sure that's just at home? Did you say?
You just go and sit down on the sofa, fold your arms.
Another bit. Well, I was expecting to see at the back of you, Dr. Will Murphy, or to climb out of like an extremely large mug.
Yeah, do you know what? I've been absolutely rubbish at getting my surreptitious marketing sorted today. So there you go. I won't. Yeah, next time I'll get a call from my Will Murphy Dentistry, Wall Street, Birmingham stuff sorted.
Oh, sorry, you're breaking up now, Will.
Get him off.
Well, guys, on that note, unless you've got anything else you'd like to discuss.
Well, no, but I think we keep it short, aren't we? So I'm not allowed to.
Yeah, keeping them bite-sized. Yeah. Will, thank you very much. Really pleased again that it's gone well. Carl, we're obviously back this week as in surgery. So
yeah, good luck.
Follow suit. Thank you. And I shall look forward to catching up with you both next week.
Cheers.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.